Hey everyone, what's happening? Another pond check day. Hey, thanks for joining. 4 people, 5 people. What's going on, everybody? Thanks for coming on. Just doing a little quick pond check and talking about what's going to be going on here. If you guys have been following along here, Kill Billy, what's up, my man? What's up, everyone? 14 people, 15. Hey, welcome aboard. Just doing a pond check and talking about some. What's up, Troy? What's up, Lit Ripper? Yeah, man, I'm glad you brought that up, Dave. I'm gonna be moving away from this handheld kind of live thing I'm doing here on Instagram next year. I'm kind of taking this whole video thing over to YouTube. With the amount of time, I really never anticipated, spending this much time on here. But with the amount of time we're spending and the amount of content and stuff we're going to have, YouTube is the place for that. So if you guys can go over and follow on YouTube, it's Aquatic Biologist over there. The page is already set up. I have not been active in doing YouTube videos, and that's going to change. Some of the things I'm going to be doing here as well next year, probably we're going to run an electrofishing survey once a month. Normally I wouldn't do that intensely, maybe once every 6 weeks, but we're going to stay on top of these fish pretty good, and I'm going to have that on the Patreon account. That's not going to be available on YouTube. That'll be kind of a pay-per-view deal. Again, to try to generate some revenue, just to try to compensate for some of the time I've been spending on this page. But those are probably the 2 main things I'm thinking about doing for next year. So if you guys don't mind, check out YouTube. Appreciate that. Hey, thanks for joining 13. Busy today. Let's see. So, as normal, as usual, we got our feeder. See if we got any feed left. Oh, that's full. See there? And for anybody who's new, we got 2 different kinds of feed in here. This larger stuff is like a 32%, just normal, like $10 a bag or so feed that you can get at any farm supply. The smaller stuff is the stuff that I really like. It's, I think, around 50 or 60% protein. I'm not even sure. I'd have to look at the bag. But it's higher protein, and as you can see, it's a lot smaller. Let's see if we can get any fish to eat. It's getting too cold. And if you guys have been watching these videos, that's not normal. And there's usually fish just tearing that up. So we've reached the point in the season now, at this late date in December, that the fish have shut down. You'll see this sometimes in like October. Oh, I saw a little feeding, maybe a little feeding down there. And the high protein pellets sink as well. So they know they'll be feeding on the ones on the bottom before the ones on the top. But like I said, go back on these videos and watch. Like, that feed does not float like that. So there's your indication right there that it's time to stop feeding for the season. We don't have to throw feed and let it float like that all winter. It'll just make nutrients build up and create algae problems on the days when it's warmer. So, don't do that. It's not really doing any good, and you're just kind of wasting money. Let's walk around a little bit, give it a look while we're here. You can see our cattails are falling out and dying, but they'll be back. To do something about that nonsense, probably. Clint said there were some ducks in here. I didn't see any ducks today. What kind of ducks they were. Weird looking. The water's clearing up, as you can see there, maybe. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe the glare's bad, but the plankton bloom's going to fall out. It just clears up in the wintertime. The plankton's not as active either. So the water clarity gets real clear. It'll go a lot clearer than this. That's normal in the wintertime. And it's okay. Nothing to worry about. It's what happens. And then when we get our water temperatures up, next spring, we'll start with Perfect Pond plus fertilizer again. One thing we're going to touch on, probably the first video I'm going to do for YouTube, is about water chemistry. One thing that happened out here this year, sorry, I didn't even do any water chemistry stuff here because we got started so late. Here in Georgia, we don't have much limestone or calcium in the soil at all, really, and in this part of the state especially. So I would anticipate, I haven't even run the test yet, but I would anticipate that this water's low in total hardness. And just like in a garden or in your yard, if you don't have the correct lime requirement, you can't grow, your plants won't grow very well. And plankton works the same way in ponds. Now what I did was I used hydrated lime to quickly change the hardness in the water. The problem with using hydrated lime is it washes out with rain. So this winter we're going to check the hardness content, do it the way we should have done it last winter, but I wasn't working here last winter. So we'll check the hardness, and if it needs lime, which I'm pretty sure it's going to need lime, we'll add some agriculture lime, and we'll talk about that. And just, break that down in detail and get into that kind of thing. I'm seeing some feeding over there now. Some broken feeding anyway. So they're not totally done for the season. Some feeders. Anyway, that's a few ideas of some of the stuff that's going on. I won't keep you guys here all day. I'll check for questions, though, if you have any. Hey, what's up? Thanks for joining. Yeah, I think we covered, the one guy's asking here when the fish eat regularly. It'll be right down the road from that pond. It isn't for employees only. Yeah, man. Yeah, Troy, this is it's private here, man. It's kind of a pet project for the guy who owns this place. But yeah, it's not public. It's a private only type of place. Let's see. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate you, man. Wisconsin, what's up? What's up, man? Okay, so when do the fish eat regularly again? It'll be about the same time next year when the water temperatures get up into the 60s, 65 or so. Start throwing your feed out a little bit at a time. When they start feeding on it good, just, really when they start feeding on it well, your budget will dictate how much you can feed them, especially that high protein stuff. That stuff's like $50 a bag. So, you're not going to go crazy throwing that around. That's why it's mixed in there, it's pricey. But the high protein just really significantly grows fish, a lot better. And the smaller pellets are good too, because I just like that they're available to smaller size bluegill. Those big pellets that float, see how these big 32%ers, they just sit up here and float in the water column. There's one. And then the fish will, if they get soft, that one's already getting soft. See? But the fish have to come and pick those off the surface. So you can see they're getting blown with the wind, where the high protein falls off and goes to the bottom. And I've noticed this. Me and my friend Mickey were talking about this. We're going to go to Mickey's Pond this weekend. I'm going to do a video down there as well. But you see how we have gravel out past the feeder? That's done intentionally because those small protein pellets get down in that gravel, and it gets those fish, I don't know if you guys can see me, but it gets those fish feeding down on them like that and really picking around in that gravel. And I do that on purpose. So now when I come in here and I throw a crankbait up into that gravel and I crank it down, and it looks like a feeding bluegill. It's not paying attention. And bass will use that feeding when the bluegill start paying attention to the feed, stop paying attention to the bass will come in here and feed on them. So that's kind of a trick that I use with my feeder and gravel to mimic, to get my fish to bite. Give my clients a better chance to catch fish anyway. Hey, what's up, everyone? Thanks for joining. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate you. I'm gonna cut this off. I don't want it to run too long. These things are boring. People don't watch them anyway. But thanks for the engagement and the following. Check it out on YouTube, please. Give it a follow there. That helps a lot. Making money. And that's it, man. Appreciate it.